carols with Wowsa hobby. Fa la 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 la.
Hello and welcome to Pat and Ken at the Holidays, the holiday overview of holiday films. I'm Patrick McDonald of HollywoodChicago.com.
And I'm his trusty sidekick, Ken Candela, aka the Movie Wag.
Yes, the Movie Wag is in the house.
Actually, you're in my house.
Ah! What we're going to do is 3 segments. We're going to talk about 2 films per segment, kind of categorize them. We're going to start with sort of a classic holiday, and we started with the PBS special, A Child's Christmas in Wales. Ken, what was that Child's Christmas in Wales about, essentially?
It was kind of a flashback film about a young boy who I think was starting to lose sight of Christmas, what Christmas really meant. He was a young boy, and he really started to rediscover Christmas through the memories of his grandfather.
Yes, yes, and who was played by Denham Elliott.
Correct.
Yes.
Fine British actor.
Come on.
Tomorrow's Christmas.
We can't always have a white Christmas, Thomas. You should be used to that.
It shouldn't rain.
Oh, it doesn't snow like it used to. But then it isn't Christmas yet, is it?
Yes. And what I found fascinating about it was the memories were distinct from the grandfather, but they were also slightly exaggerated, I thought.
Yes, I mean, most of it was flashback to family gatherings. And I felt in a lot of ways those family gatherings kind of took me back to a time when I was a kid, where you really kind of, leading up to Christmas, weeks on end, we'd spend time with family each weekend.
Blinding tam-o'-shanters like patchwork tea cosies, and bunny-suited busbies, and balaclavas for victims of head-shrinking tribes. From aunts who always wore wool next to the skin, there were moustached and rasping vests that made you wonder why the aunts had any skin left at all.
So in general, what did you think of the film?
I found I actually wish it had been longer. It seemed like it flew by. I think maybe it was about an hour in length.
Okay.
Again, it was, I think it really set a time when Christmas was celebrated without the commercialism.
Yes.
And it was really more to begin with, a religious holiday that involved family and friends coming together to really enjoy each other's company.
And one of the other things I loved about it was taken from a Dylan Thomas short story, and the language of it was amazing.
Then with dog-disturbing whistles and sugar fags, I would scour the swatched town for news of the little world, and find always a dead bird by the white post office or by the deserted swings.
So what's your bell rating on this? A Christmas bell rating, by the way.
I'm going to give this 3 hearty bells.
I will go 3.5 hearty bells, and that's The Child's Christmas in Wales. Ken, our second film in this segment is a classic Christmas carol. Or Christmas film, actually, or classic Christmas carol. It's called Remember the Night. This is something that TCM, Turner Classic Movie, shows every year as a Christmas movie. So give us a rundown of what the basic plot is.
Well, the basic plot, first of all, the movie stars Barbara Stanwyck and Fred MacMurray. I think it was made in 1941. But basically it's about a young woman who is arrested for shoplifting. She's going to go on trial and be prosecuted. And in the interim, a DA that's played by Fred MacMurray takes a liking to her.
Okay.
And during the film, it's basically they go off to his home in Indiana with his family.
Okay.
To
where in Indiana, Ken?
I do not know exactly where in Indiana.
It was vague to me too.
You're from Indiana, right?
Yes, yes. It was. It's that Indiana in the Hollywood studios' minds.
Correct.
All right. Way down upon the Swanee River.
marriage.
Yeah, it might as well have been Mayberry.
Yeah, exactly.
The town
It
was
was
depicted.
Mayberry, Indiana.
She really, she really discovers the simple meanings of Christmas. Again,
very good.
going back to spending time with family, and where commercialism was not really a focal point for the holiday.
Willie? Here's the milk. Oh boy. Gee, I love Christmas. That's the latest, Willie. Oh, no, you got it out back.
No, Willie, this way.
That's right.
So what was your problem with the film, essentially?
Well, to really classify it as a Christmas or a holiday film, which I know that's the way TCM presents it.
Yeah.
Christmas really played a very small part in it. I think that even New Year's Eve was even covered off in the film.
Okay.
The problem I had with it, and again, I think we should mention that the screenplay was written by Preston Sturges. Who's
great Preston Sturges.
Exactly, one of my favorite director-writers. The host of TCM made mention that the director took some liberties with his script, and if you're a true student of Preston Sturges, you know you don't mess with his scripts. They're pretty much perfect and dead on.
Now, didn't Sturges do his famous $1 a year thing after this, where he said, "I'll take $1 a year as long as I can have final cut."
Correct. He went to Paramount Studios with The Great McGinty, which was his first movie that he directed and wrote, and said, "As long as you let me direct, I'll direct it for $1."
You sleepy?
Not very.
You want to come in my room and have a cigarette? Be nice by the fire.
Well, I'll be in a minute.
So you essentially think it's not a holiday film. What's your Christmas bell rating?
I'd give it 2 bells. Again, I think it was made during a time of the studios. It had great actors in it. It was in glorious black and white.
I don't think they thought about holiday films in those days. They would just set a film at Christmas, and then like years later, we're so obsessed with films that are set at Christmas that we'll take anything, basically.
Correct.
So I will give it 2 bells as well, and that is Remember the Night.
Well, in our next segment, we're going to take a look at how the holidays were handled with television episodes.
Okay.
And in particular, we're going to look at 2 holiday episodes of one of my favorite 60s sitcom, Bewitched. And then we're going to move on to our yearly look at another treatment of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. And this year we're going to be looking at the Flintstones' Christmas Carol.
That's in our next segment.